All right, hold on. Okay, let me see. There we go. You need authority too, Miss Lee, or
Oh, I got it.
okay. See, she already see. That's what I like. That's what I like, man. People already got stuff, to take care of. So anyway, before we even get started with no introductions, I'm telling you now, I'm heavily suggesting to Dub that the name of this pod be Little Booties Matter. That's I'm gonna start there.
I'm with you, man. You just make sure you remind me. I'll make sure it's that. You know what I'm saying? But man, you know what?
What's
I've
up?
noticed something. I've been listening to the past podcast, bro, and the one thing that is missing is that you
All right.
stopped asking like the most important question before we even start the pod, bro.
Oh, you talking about what's the name of this podcast?
I ain't your average cat. I slap box with lions. Ever since the 5th grade, kickball with tires. Made a mini fortune off a ripped off appliance. Money when it's stove back, hit dog with irons. Boogie need to find God. Shit, dog, I'm trying. That's why I robbed the Deacon house. Man, quit your lying. I did it.
Brand new.
H-Town's finest, the 16 Shots podcast with Young James Boogie and AR Dub.
I know you gonna dig this.
I'm gonna start with Dub because you probably got the loosest hips out of everybody on here. When did you start? What's your first memories of dancing? Like, when's your first memories of like just dancing?
Like, when is my first memories of me acknowledging that I am now attempting to dance
Yeah, just
on
dancing.
purpose?
Yeah.
Probably middle school. I was maybe like in the 6th grade or something like that, and I went to like a little dance with them Thomas boys. Matter of fact, you know what I'm talking about. We all went to like this little dance in the tray, and I found me like a little older female, had like a little dance to the Black Street. I even remember the song. You know what I'm talking about? Cause
You telling me that you ain't had no memories of dancing till you was in the 6th grade?
no, I mean I'm pretty sure as like a toddler and a young kid, I probably did a dance, bro. But I don't have like no memories of going to camp, doing no camp dances and no shit like that.
Oh, okay. Well, Miss Lee, when is your first memory of just dancing?
Elementary school, like 2nd grade,
Yeah.
courtyard battles.
You was already battling, okay,
Oh
at
yeah,
2nd grade. Okay. So
yeah. It
I
started
said
real young, real competitive. Real.
my first memory of dancing, I think I remember dancing to like music in the house, you know what I mean? Not necessarily, trying to impress anybody, but I remember my mom not really being the best of dancers. This guy here. Not being the
Man,
not
y'all paying
being
attention to me, man. You know what I'm
not
talking about?
not being the best of dancers. So what I'm saying, or not even not being bad, but just kind of having her own kind of Elaine type rhythm, you know what I mean? And kind of being, the foreign factor in it, you know what I'm saying? So she had a different rhythm, not that she was awkward, but it's a different rhythm than the rhythm that I would see anytime this song came on as a youngster or middle school or high school. If this song came on, I don't care where I'm at, I'm finna cut a rug.
Maybe not a song, maybe a video game, which is Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh man, you the one on there with the
Yeah.
But hold
Yeah.
on, this is the most
And they
important
had
question.
Crazy on there with Gnarls Barkley, and they would remix it and put all the that was fun.
This is the most important question. Were you like a teenager or a young adult?
I was young. I was
Damn.
a youth. I am 24.
Boogie, we was grown. We was grown by the time that shit came out, bro.
Yeah, I was a
Dance
little baby.
Revolution.
Yeah, we was grown. We was grown. My nigga.
No, I remember
Yes,
that.
we was.
Hold up, you
Dance
talking
Dance
about
Revolution. We were grown.
you talking
Dance
about
Dance Revolution was a whole
You talking about
era by itself.
I remember going as a teenager, or a teenager going to the video arcade and them having the dance thing, and I used to always make fun of because the Asians, they wouldn't really they wouldn't have a rhythm, but they just have quick feet because what your top didn't matter. All that mattered is that your feet hit the spots at the right time. So they'd be on there just doing the step thing, and their body be doing, and
No,
and great job, good job, excellent.
When we were teenagers, bro, there was some form of a game like that.
Yeah.
But Dance Revolution, we were adults.
I don't know. I just know that it was the same game. I thought it was like, I know the newer one is the one that you don't have a pad. It's just it goes to your body, right? But the older one,
they do these now.
yeah, with the Wii,
Like,
yeah. But the older one, it was like 16 or 16-foot pedals on the, and you had 2 rails so you wouldn't fall. And it was side by side in the arcade. It was a big game, you know, probably about 16 by 16 feet or whatever. And I remember that when I remember as a teen, definitely a teen, maybe even younger, but yeah. Dance Revolution, man, ooh, we came a long way.
Maybe I didn't get out much. I like Guitar Hero more than Dance Revolution or any dancing game. I like Guitar Hero a little bit though.
What's your Guitar Hero song?
Oh, it's the Santana song. That's the only song I want to play, bro.
Which Maria?
Nah, it wasn't Maria. It was the other one. It was like damn, I forgot the name of it.
What, Do You Like the Way with Lauryn Hill? Do you like the way that it's going down?
I was really no singing in the song. It's just guitar shit.
Oh.
That's probably why I was on Guitar. It's probably why I was on Guitar Hero.
Santana.
There were no real songs in it.
You know, I like to go look up stuff, man. Santana Guitar Hero. Let's see.
I can tell you the song right now, bro.
Okay, hook us up then.
While you talk, you know what I'm saying, I'll let you know because I like the song so much. I actually haven't,
Yeah. You have it in your playlist? You run around jamming Carlos Santana? That's what's up, man. I didn't got off task.
Oh, there you go. Black Magic Woman, bro.
No, I got a black magic woman.
Yeah,
man,
that's it.
That's a great segue, as you say, Black Magic Woman, because I wanted to ask Miss Lee, in your battles, were you ever battling? So the first time I really thought to myself, like, man, well, first off, growing up, like, and even now still, like, you kind of try to dance your way into a woman's or a man's, heart, like you have a girl or a guy you like, and you couldn't really just verbalize what's going on, so you wait to the school dance or to an opportunity to dance, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna show her my move, and or I'm gonna show him my move, and he gonna be enthralled in my moves, right? And so, can you remember what Dub said the first time he danced, or his memory was dancing at a probably St. Peter's, the dance you talking about, Dub, in the tray, but
it was I went with them Thomas boys. So
yeah. Can you remember the first time you danced and you were directing your dance toward the opposite sex? And now they know. Middle school, yeah.
6th, 7th grade had to be.
We used to roll. That was our thing. If you had and everybody had to have.
Middle school was like what? It had to be.
Middle school was like
30
years ago.
Middle school. Okay, so for us, middle school. Okay, so I had the unique opportunity to be involved with middle school ever since I was in middle school. I never was not involved with middle school activities as far as like dances and stuff like. From middle school to high school to college to post, I've always been involved in middle school activities some kind of way. So I've seen how, the dance floor kind of changed over the years. Like
I see what you're getting at.
At one point, the dance floor was condensed, and they had to come through with the rulers. Like, you got to be 6 inches apart. You know what I mean? Y'all can't be too close. They come with the ruler, and then yeah. Thing called the roll. Like, you had the roll.
Man, you old, bro.
I'm okay. I'm cool. But the role was like, so everybody had their own particular role, and that was kind of like your signature. Just like I remember my old G's telling me about the strut, and like in the 70s and 60s, you had to have your own strut. Like, when you walked, you couldn't walk like the next person, and that was part of your personality. So if you ever watch like a blaxploitation film, you'll notice that Willie Hutch don't walk like Dolomite. Dolomite don't walk like Superfly.
No, say it. He don't walk like Black Dynamite. Go ahead, say it, bro.
I mean, that's not black. That's newer. But I'm saying, like,
that's
that
newer
was
blaxploitation. You know what I'm talking about?
You had to have your own, and the more unique your strut was, that would signify you. You know. Specific. It could be anything, you know, specific to you. But it was really just dry hunching. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This is dry hunching, and you just find unique ways to dry hunch. And then, like I said, as the music kind of changed, then you had that era where the kind of You Got Served era, where like it wasn't no dry hunching. You was trying to Omarion that thing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody had their own routines coming, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like
I know that had to be a fun time because we was straight. It was straight twerking growing up. That was like gas pedal. You got freaking Beyonce, not Beyonce too, but Nicki Minaj, all the twerk music. That was
okay, yeah.
My middle school, high school era was like twerk. Like, what dude name? Can't think of her name. That's crazy.
David Guetta, maybe?
Brown a lot, but Tiger. There you go.
Tiger
made a whole bunch. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Made all the first music. Soulja Boy. Yeah. We had the Superman era part, like elementary going into middle school, and then after that, work.
That was a throwback though, because if you think about it, in actuality, the Superman era was like kind of like a throwback to the early 90s, because in the early 90s, like, it was a name for every dance. You had the Cabbage Patch, the RoboCop, the Kid and Play, like, and you could string together 4 or 5 songs that were like the butt, doing the butt, ow, you know what I'm saying? And you would as you were dancing, it was call and respond with the dance, you know what I'm saying? Push it, Salt and Pepper, you know what I'm saying? These were literally kind of like, go ahead.
Look, let me ask you a question. When these dances you just spoke of, like the Salt and Pepper and doing the butt and all of that, where were you at in life? Were you like in middle school? Were they playing these songs at your middle school dance, or where were you at in life?
Well, man, what's so interesting and unique, I've been thinking about this all month, is that, you know, every year, every decade or so, an era dies, right? Or the core of an era dies. So what I'm saying is, like, it ain't gonna be no more pimps like it was in the 70s. It ain't gonna be no more musicians like Marvin Gaye. It'll be replicas of people who resemble, but when Marvin Gaye and Luther Vandross and those guys were on the radio or making music, that era and that essence died in 89, 90, right? The era that I grew up, like, the Screw era died with Screw pretty much. And even if he was still living, like, it's no more going to his I mean, like, it was fresh, like, they had nothing to do with it. It was like, it's the first time we hearing Salt and Pepper. It's the first time we hearing Kid and Play. this Kid and Play got go-go in there. Like, what? You hear them bongos in there?
And this was going on in your middle school dances?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, you old, bro.
Yeah. Kid and Play.
Damn, Kid and Play.
Kid and Play was probably my like 6th grade, 5th grade year.
Ooh, I was in elementary, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good, you know what I'm saying?
No,
But
I'm not. I'm just thinking about it. Like, damn, I was in elementary, bro. We got like 3 different eras on the screen. You know what I'm talking about?
and what I'm saying, and it's like she's talking about the Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy era is dead. Like they don't make songs like that. Like it's not. There's not a contingency of artists like Audio Push and Soulja Boy and who was that with the My Dougie? Who was that? My Dougie. That's Dougie. I'm flesh.
Oh,
I'm fly. I'm
like
fly.
the chicken noodle soup. Yeah.
Chicken noodle, like that era is gone, and it was great in its inception and what it created, but it's gone. It's never gonna come back again. And you know what I'm saying? All we can do is appreciate it at this point. But like I said,
I'm glad you brought that up, bro.
yeah.
Are you excited? I'm a little excited. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to attend. New Edition is gonna have, I don't know why they call it a residency. It's only 6 shows. Man, New Edition is gonna have like a little Vegas show for like 6 shows, bro. Are you excited about that?
Am I excited?
Yeah, bro, it's New Edition.
I don't know if that's the word I would use. Excited.
Bro, I remember going to the New Edition reunion tour when I was in middle school. I don't know how I pulled this off. I took my middle school girlfriend to the New Edition tour in a luxury suite, bro. By ourselves. I don't know how we pulled it off.
That's because you're a fly guy, man. That's stuff you do, man. You've always.
I don't know if it was appropriate for teenagers in middle school to be at the New Edition reunion tour by themselves, but we did. We pulled it off. I don't know how I pulled it off, bro.
I mean, that's what I'm going to say. Like some of the things that you were able to do, it's because of the time, bro. And it was a different time. So certain things were
You just come back with a whole different face.
Hold on.
Yeah, he do that. You know, and the funny thing is, you Miss Lit.wit.Lee are the fashion guru on the screen right now. You make your own beautiful clothes and all of that, but yet and still, he is going to be the one that's going to have at least 4 or 5 outfit changes. I'm telling you that.
Right. You know, the great American poet Rakim said, "Don't sweat the technique, man." That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? I had to
it would have been real jiggy if, but see, it would have been real jiggy since we was talking about like eras. Yeah. If you would have came back with no undershirt, pause, and then the jersey on backwards.
I mean, I know everything's to the back with a little slack because inside out is wiggity whack. But you know what I'm saying? I started to because you know I do have the Smith on the back. You know, I do have Will Smith. But anyway,
hey, them Bel Air jerseys kind of fly. I ain't gonna lie to you. They kind of fly.
Thank you, man. I you know, I think I have a problem, but we'll talk about them another day with the jersey buying. Yeah, like so the era I grew up, like when I was coming of age, that's when hip hop was coming of age. Like it started way before I was born, but it came of age as I came of age. So I grew up with I grew up Eazy-E, Ice-T, and you know, and as it progressed it went from Fresh Prince to Rakim, from Rakim to Tupac, from Tupac to DMX, like lived through those eras, you know what I mean? And it's like anything in the world, when it gets to a certain point, now you're just pretty much replicating, you know, or you're fine tuning. It's not like Jill Scott and the Philly sound came out. Now they're trying to recreate that sound. You know, Music Soul Child and the Soulquarians and these people that came out in the mid 90s, you know, early 2000s. 2023, they trying to recreate that sound. So you get these Ari Lennoxes and these other newer artists that are trying to recreate. And that goes across any platform. You're talking about clothing, you're talking about music, you're talking about, you know, dress, you're talking about hairstyles. Like I look at these kids with their flat tops, I'll be like, man, y'all don't even know how to rock a flat top, man. I'm bald, but still, y'all don't even know how to rock a flat. Y'all don't know how to rock a fro, really. Y'all ain't never seen a
I'm
pro put
just
together.
talking about that. Like, it's not a lot of innovation. Even like movies, really across the board, like you don't really see anything that's different, or it just doesn't grasp your attention. It looks kind of recycled. It feels kind of recycled.
Yeah.
I think that's why Marvel did so good for 15 years, and these comic book movies did so good, because there weren't any more like original movie ideas out there. It was like reboots and recopies of stuff. You know, a lot of your drama is like, all right,
That was my
It's
favorite.
cool.
My favorite like cult. See, I used to always drop lines in our rap career. I used to drop Colt Seaver bars, and people wouldn't really catch them sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I pull stunts like Colt Seavers, and people are like, what? Like the Fall Guy, man. The Fall Guy was, I might jump from an open jaw bridge or Tarzan from a vine.
Hey, speaking of movies, have any of you guys watched this Five Nights at Freddy's movie?
The first one or the second one?
Or the one that recently came out now?
Is that the one with the? I think that's the one I saw.
With the little fake ass Chuck E. Cheese animatronics?
Yeah. I saw it.
Yeah, you saw
which
it?
one you saw? You saw the one with Nicholas.
Came out.
Oh, you saw one with Nicolas Cage?
No.
Nah. This is something new that came out around Halloween about essentially it's a fake ass Chuck E. Cheese.
That thing was trash.
I know,
but it's the same. It's the same thing. What I'm saying is, it's literally the same characters, the same premise as the Nick Cage movie that came out like 2 years ago. Like the same character. It's the same. It's just like the second. It's like part 2.
Yeah, I didn't see the Nicolas Cage one. I feel like that one might have been executed better.
I mean,
the Nicolas Cage one where he just was randomly in a spot and he was fighting off some people.
Nah, that's all his movies. But he was a drifter, came into town. They towed his car, and it was like, in order to get your car back, you got to stay here for the night. And if you stay here for the night, then you can get your car back. He stayed there, and of course, Freddy's was the haunted thing, and he ended up. But he didn't say he Nick Caged it far left, but he didn't say much. He was like silent, deadly type. I don't talk. I just kick ass type. It was all right. It was all right.
I remember seeing a trailer for that, but I didn't see it. Now I know Five Nights at Freddy's, the one that came out on Paramount Plus, is based off of a video game and some books, where essentially a serial killer kills some kids and hides them in animals.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. Like it was
premise.
Yeah, same. It's the
then.
same. Like the killer was. He was at a certain time of night. The thing come on, and Nick Cage didn't know. So, but he ended up. I don't want to tell the story, but I mean, you probably know how it ends. But it's all right.
It had more potential.
Yeah.
Like it had potential to be a good movie. I just don't think the execution was there. I was literally having a whole debate after it, and it was like, oh, it's based on a video game. I'm like, but video games have really dope storylines, so you can't. It's all an execution at that point, and I just feel like it could have been executed better.
You're right, because the storyline is kind of when you. That's why I end up watching the movie, because the storyline itself is kind of dope. I think the actors could have had a slightly better acting, maybe some better writing to actually tell the story.
I think it was kind of rushed too. Like
it was rushed.
It was just kind of like, oh, boop, 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 boop.
Exactly. It was. It's like you get. It's like the story is progressing, and you're like, oh, this shit kind of dope, and you're trying to connect the dots, and I knew it was something off with the little job helping dude, and then next thing I know, bam, animatronics is killing somebody and befriending little kids. I'm like, hold on, bro. You could have eased me into this a little bit more, but
Yeah, and just to put a cap and put like kind of a perspective on the reimagination of all these new things. I think that it was bound to happen, and it's been happening all through time. But let's say, Hamlet. To tell Hamlet or to produce and the production of Hamlet in 1822 is one thing. 1922 is one thing. 2022 is like, as technology advances and you're able to add, something like, you can do the same movie over, but like where Superman how he was flying with Christopher Reeves, when you put that on the news, like, man, it's so much better. The graphics and the ability, what we can do, visually is so much better. It just takes them a while sometimes to find the right actors, because it was Spider-Man movies out in the 70s.
Exactly, but like,
go ahead.
Them Christopher Reeve Superman movies, bro.
Trash.
Nah, you tripping.
No, you tripping. Trash.
I just think about stuff like The Wiz, right?
I hate The Wiz.
The Wiz was ahead of its time, and they had to be more creative in their approach. Costuming, all these different things that they did to bring the storyline together. They weren't working with a lot of things. But to have the visual appeal that it did and the execution level that it did, I feel like they were a lot more intentional. And when you're a lot more intentional, you can convey a better storyline versus being the era of instant gratification, which is where we're kind of at now. A lot of people don't want to take that time to add those extra details or pay attention to those extra details. They're like, oh, it's easy. And they put it up there so you don't have that level of depth. You don't have that culture implemented into it. You do to an extent, but it's not as connecting as it could be because a lot of people are not as involved.
The original Wiz lost money. It was one of the most expensive movies to make, and it lost money on Inception.
I believe it, but from a appreciating art level,
exactly.
It's a different feel.
But we tend to have revisionist history about things sometimes. Everybody, people in general, sub included. Superman was super trash, bro. Superman. Like,
the one which probably was pretty trash.
The one where he got the bad kryptonite and got mad and was flicking
in the bar. Is that
the
one
flicking the peanuts?
He was flicking. Yeah,
that
man,
was trash.
That's
man.
the one where when homie was in like the little villain's lair with the computers.
Oh, you talking about? Yeah.
He got sucked in by the wires and came out like a little monster. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah. And every flying scene was super trash. Like the bat.
I mean, I feel like that for Star Trek.
Star Trek,
the new Star Treks are better, but now Star Wars, to me, is one of the ones where the original ones were better than the new actual movies.
I mean, everyone is entitled to their opinion, so I'm not going to say I'm going to do a dub and say your opinion ain't wrong. But no, I think that the older ones are good. The newer ones are being judged by the older ones. The newer ones aren't bad.
That's correct. No, they're not bad movies at all. I think that the actual movies, the first three of the first trilogy, I think it was written a little better. Then when you get the trilogy in the middle with Anakin, they were good. No, they were good.
Yeah.
The last trilogy, the problem with the last trilogy is the rise of
with the
with Kylo Ren and all of them. The middle movie was kind of fucked up.
But it also, and I my 2 cents is that also they're fighting against, like, it's like I almost did something very inappropriate. I ain't gonna say. but I'm gonna say it's like you haven't reached this level yet, Miss Lee, because you ain't got enough years. But she don't. But when
she
you
might be wise beyond her years, though.
no, it ain't about the why this is about you start to get to a point where you're comparing your older self to your younger self, right? And so you can do it but like right now, it's like if you like you said, Miss Lee, if you go back 10 years, you can't compare it. Like you were still in high school, you were still in middle school or high school, 14, 15, right? You can't really compare 15-year-old self to 24-year-old self, but you can compare 24 to 34, and you can compare 44 to 34, 34 to, and you start doing that. And you might be a great version of your 40-year-old self, but you're still thinking to yourself, like, damn, man. And people say all the time, 10 years ago, I would have blah, 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 blah. Or I would have been able to blah, blah, blah. But now, not that I can't do it, but there's so much information and so much fear that I ain't going to even do that. Like, not that I can't do it on any level. Oh, yeah, I can do this thing that I did 20 years ago. But I got fear of hurting myself, of putting myself in a bad position. That fence, you would jump over that fence, or I'm jumping that fence. I'm 14. You're like, when you're 24, you're like, hold up now. I might fall because I didn't fail before trying to do it when I was 14. So now you have a fear of, your fearlessness of youth is that's the greatest part of your youth and the worst part, because you're fearless. You're at probably 15 to 25, you fearless. Man, what? Anything, whatever. But then you get to be 35 and 40, and you're like, oh, I don't know, man, because you've had those failures, and you know what it feels like to have that failure. You know what I mean?
Right. But see, I don't think that's fear though. I think that's learned from experience. So I learned when I was 15. Yeah, at 15, I was crazy enough to think I could clear the fence.
Yeah.
And then, I tried to clear the fence, and you know, it was a bad day.
Yeah.
So now that I'm, 40, well, I know I can't clear the fence. I got to find a better way to get around the obstacle. So it's not fear. It's learning from the mistakes.
Maybe. Because I feel like there's things physically and emotionally that I can that I can do that I could try when I was 15 that I could still try now. It's physically, emotionally, however, whatever box you want to put it in. But just that fear of knowing what happens when it goes wrong. It's not about
I feel like it is a fear factor though, because it's like you don't know the owl is hot till you touch it.
Exactly.
And then you touch it and you feel it, and that, I think that's where that decision making factor comes in it. So it's like, okay, do I want to keep doing this with the potential to be hurt, or am I just gonna be like, nah, I'm just leaving it alone in totality.
But when you're younger, you'll touch that pot 100 times. But you'll get burnt 15 times when you're younger. You're like, oh, I gotta be faster. Oh, that fear hadn't kicked in yet. You still have a brazeness about yourself. Like, okay, I jumped the fence. Oh, I didn't jump high enough. Or if I put my hands down, you'll fail a bunch of times when you're younger. You know what I'm saying? I learned that. I learned that. I remember when we were young, we used to go to the elementary school. I was in elementary still, but even elementary, middle school, we used to go to elementary school because they had one low goal and one high goal. So we go there, and we, on the low goal, we try to do everything in the world. We try to jump over, we trying to jump through people. And so the next day at school, we'd be like laughing, like, I got a scar right here, I got a scar right here. Oh, I fell. Da, 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 da. And now when I got to college, like, no, we ain't doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I even though I'm physically more fit and I can do these things, I've had those years of knowing what happens when I do it, even if it's successful, I still have scars and but that youthfulness is fearlessness, man. That's why people that are 25 getting cars and go 100 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll try that cocaine. Man, it's just cocaine or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little cocaine. It ain't gonna hurt me. It ain't gonna kill me. You know what I'm saying? You're like,
well, I still do that now.
you know what I'm saying? Look, cocaine.
Not the cocaine part. Not the cocaine part.
Yeah.
Oh,
I still will go. I get what y'all saying. I just don't look at it as fear. Like the analogy of the stove. You know, the stove's hot. The first time you didn't realize to put your hand on the burnt shit out your hand. I'm not afraid now to put my hand on the stove because in my mindset, I've experienced the worst thing that could happen. I put my hand on a hot ass stove with a hot ass pot, and I had a 3rd-degree burn, and it took me 4 weeks to heal.
Yeah,
I've been through the worst thing that could happen. So now I know that shit's hot. I got to find protection to protect me from getting burned.
Yeah.
I'm still going to do the same act that I was doing of handling said pot or stove.
Yeah.
I just know how to handle it now. Same thing with jumping the fence. I tried to clear the fence when I was younger. I did it successfully. But I get what y'all saying.
That's way wiser than most 15, 18 year olds. That's 100%.
No, because when you 15 to 18, you don't fucking know no better. So
no, you know better.
Nah, sometimes you don't know no better, bro. Sometimes I do not know better at 15 to 18, and I did the shit, and after I did it, and it was a bad outcome or a bad day, or I survived it, but I got the scars to prove it.
Yeah.
Now I know better. So now I know I still can clear said hurdle, but it's a better way to clear it than what the fuck I tried to last time.
Man, that's super wise for a bitch. I mean, I just feel like that's super wise, man. I'm just thinking about that is super. That's if people were that wise. First off, let's like this here.
I'm not speaking about at 15 though. I'm speaking about like now that I'm older, like 30-year-old me or 40-year-old me. Like now I know how to clear said obstacle because I bumped my head enough when I was younger and figured it out. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
I ain't saying at 15. No, fuck no. Yeah,
the insurance companies already know. Like, man, I don't care what's going on. If you just age to that age, we're gonna charge you double, man, because we know you're gonna make bad mistakes. Like, I don't care. You know you shouldn't speed. But you're gonna speed anyway because that you're fearless. You know what I'm saying? You might have had your best friend die in a car accident. You still on speed. You know what I'm saying? Because you just fearless. But anyway, let's go to I'm gonna get to talk about, you know what I'm saying, the person here. I know last time we talked, we kind of focused on your managerial, you know, the aspect of how we knew you. But I want to talk about, you know, the everything that is you. So
we're gonna talk about a little bit of fashion.
I mean, we talk about everything, man. We're gonna talk about everything, but I want to just let the people know a quick, short bio of, you know, of the things that you are doing and planning to do. That's tough.
I've shifted my focus mainly on building my clothing line, really lifestyle business, because I've kind of dabbled in the pillows, all these different things. Just allowing myself to experience and express all my gifts that I do have. Like, I have a lot of different skill sets, and I'm just pushing myself to challenge myself to expand and be all the different things that I can be, no matter what that may look like.
Do you need a motto? I
do.
The Bel Air Academy, you know what I'm saying, getting, you know.
Yeah, I just want to make like wearable art pieces. Like I
have
my paintings.
I see.
I want things to look eccentric. I want people to have the ability to express whatever they really keep to themselves and suppress.
I just don't. I about, you know, I had a short stint where I was, well, not a short stint. I guess it was a period when I was gonna go to the Houston School of Performing and Visual Arts.
Mhm.
And you know, my artistic prowess wasn't pretty, it was kind of wide, you know what I'm saying? And it might have been, it was just wide, right? So it might have been visual performance, it might have been some print art, it might have been some drawing, some painting, all of the right, fashion, all that. But when I went to the auditions that they had, growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in, um, certain lifestyles and certain ways of presenting weren't as we weren't cultivated to deal
Mhm.
with certain types of lifestyles and ways presented. So, and once again, that young and that young ignorance and that young fearlessness and not understanding. I'm like, no, I can't be here, man. I can't be here because I'm gonna have to beat him up at some point. Me and him gonna get into it because he gonna do something that's gonna. I don't like the vibe and I had that, which is crazy. I hadn't had the same issue with an adult school I did choose, but I very much think that the eccentricness of art is 100% in line with the eccentricness of the art. I can't say that word, of the artist. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And sometimes people who aren't of that guild don't really get it. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah,
really get it.
I can see that. I'm in Mississippi now, so the first shop that I did, pop-up shop I did was out
Mm,
here.
mhm,
And it is a different atmosphere and it is a different demographic.
mhm,
But I feel like that's the thing that's meant to challenge me to see if like, okay, is this the path that you really want to walk?
mhm,
I just posted a video a couple days ago and I was just talking about life being a game of focus and how life is a game about attention. So it's not that people can't experience the things that we have to express.
mm,
It's are we being intentional enough about our line of thinking, what we're allowing to get our attention in order to produce those things, just like you were
mm,
talking about. Yes, those distractions and things were present, but you went through the same thing no matter what place
mhm,
or what something looked like, you were still going through those same challenges.
mhm,
So it's not about location.
mhm,
We could make it about that, but that's because we want to make excuses for ourselves. It has nothing to do with location. It has to do with, okay, am I going to allow what someone is saying or these ideas or even what myself internally is telling me about this thing to keep me from showing up?
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, we're gifted ideas and we're gifted resources and we have this direct connection with creator source, however you choose to see
yeah,
it. We have this direct connection and it directs us. It's like, hey, do this, or hey, here's an idea. The thing about it is are we going to be obedient to that voice? Are we obedient to our ideas? Delayed obedience is disobedience. We prolong in the process.
mm. Talk your shit, queen.
That we don't have to. Like if we do it now, if we allow ourselves to be focused and be in the moments and fully embody where we're at and not get so wrapped up in where we going or where we have been previously, we could fully embody and enjoy what this moment has for us. And I think for me that's the biggest lesson that I'm learning because I've gone through a lot of shifts. I went from doing what I was doing previously to completely focusing on myself as an individual. Those are two hyper extremes. I'm in a totally different reality.
Mhm,
And it's easy to be attached to a previous season or be attached to what people know you for,
mhm,
that you kind of face like this internal battle and you're like, okay, will I be able to still encompass this thing or am I now attached to this identity? And that's why I allow myself to express myself in so many different ways, because I don't have to condense down into this box. I was gifted and equipped with too many things to just be this one thing, or to be attached to this idea. Because if I wasn't equipped to do it, I wouldn't have been granted access to it. So everything I have is everything that I need. And I have the ability to display that. And that's why I have so many different talents. And that's why I can, deliver, talk the way that I am. Go from painting or filming or dancing or sewing or writing or any form of expression. It's just not allowing yourself to get off that path, because so many things want your attention. Your emotions want your attention, your mind wants your attention, your heart wants your attention. Look, oh yeah, I want to love a person, I want to be with a person. Oh no, I don't want to deal with people or nothing. All these things are fighting for your attention. But it's just up to you to have that focus and say, okay, this is what I'm equipped with. What can I do with what I have right now? And don't get out of that moment. And yeah, you create beauty from there. So
the great Lauryn Hill said, "No, that's what's up." The great Lauryn Hill said, "I'll get out of your boxes. I'll get out. You can't box me in."
I almost thought that you got on the screen topless, bro.
Why would I get on team? I'm repping my Sonics, man.
Yeah, but you got the green screen on and it's green. I see what you did there, though.
Like what I did there, man. Yeah.
Like this is some real vain shit, to be
How's
honest
that
with
vain,
you.
man?
Because you got your face behind you on the green screen, which is cool. But then you opted in to go put on the green jersey that's going to put most of your face on your chest. So now you want us to look at your face on your chest and in real life. And I mean, that's some real vain shit. I'm not opposed to it. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm finna say,
never,
man, you better watch it.
I've never walked past a mirror that I didn't like. So, I'm not really hating on it. I just thought that you got on here topless a little bit. And I was going to say super pause.
It ain't like I ain't got her topless before, bro. So, I mean.
I don't know. I don't remember those days. I mean, I know at one point in time you wanted to be an underwear model. So, Ms. Lee, once you get your men's Speedo line ready, he's gonna be your underwear model, because he used to be an underwear model.
I will not let you drag me down that road, sir. Nice try, though. Nice try,
no,
but
we got the photos to prove it.
You have no photos of me in underwear, sir.
Whoa, pause.
What you talking about then?
I never said you were in underwear, but you come from that era, since we're on eras, where D'Angelo put out his "How Does It Feel" video, and I think you tried to reenact it a little bit, showing your man cuts and shit.
All I hear is jealousy, man. That's all I hear, man.
I'm not jealous of you, my brethren. I would never.
So along the lines of man, I want to talk about letter. Big Pips, that's Tila. But man, it's amazing to see how Mississippi has changed visually over the last 20 years. And because 20 years ago, Mississippi was 40 years behind everything else.
I thought it still was.
I mean, in ways it is, but in ways it's progressive. Meaning 20 years ago, you wouldn't find a bunch of dreadheads in Mississippi. 20 years ago, Mississippi was the Deep South, and it's still the Deep South. But there's a movement of pro-blackness that's moving through Mississippi.
I see it.
Moving through that Deep South that wasn't there, you know what I mean? And it's just unique to see. And it's a struggle because, some of those old ways are dug in deep, but it's just unique to look at it. And it's like, man, I remember coming this way, like all you finna see is Cadillacs and, Coupe de Villes and people with Jerry curls and, gold teeth. and you still got some of that going on, but now you're seeing dreads. Now you're seeing, Afrocentric clothing. Now you're seeing curators and creators making spaces in Mississippi, and that's unique to see. It's kind of neat to see. It's neat to see because, like, damn, it wasn't like that at one point. You know what I mean? But
wouldn't that kind of be everywhere though? I mean, wouldn't that be
hell no.
When I say that, you say what you said, 20 years ago you roll through there and you see Jerry curls and Cadillac, coupe de and shit like that.
Yeah.
But when the dreads just take the place of that, it's just the times have changed. So that demographic of people who would be wearing the Jerry curls and got the coupe de villes now got dreads and Hellcats. Like, I just think it's changed with the times, like everywhere else. They might have changed slower, but
nah.
Nobody in 2023 still wearing Jerry curls.
No, Jericho actually coming back.
Please don't say that.
He actually coming back. But like what I'm saying is like Mississippi, bro. Like if you let's just take 3 regions: Mississippi, Houston, Arizona, or in Wisconsin, right? Milwaukee, or whatever. They're unique to they have unique things of their own. They have unique, unique characteristics of each part, right?
Yes.
But Mississippi was like, it was unique, but it was like behind. Like the dreads didn't replace, like as in a phase, the dreads replaced as a culture shift. It wasn't just like, oh, now we was doing Jerry curls, now we doing. No, it was a culture shift to say, okay, we're consciously understanding that these dreads are us. This like these dreads are us. Not that we're just doing it because it's cool, but like, yeah, man, shit, this is how we supposed to look. This is our stuff. This ain't, or if you talk about Houston, you know what I mean? We had Jerry curls at one point in Houston. But then we graduated to the fades and the high tops, you know what I mean? And now you see we're a metropolitan city, so you'll see dreads, you'll see, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't finna see a bunch of Jerry curls in Houston, you know what I'm saying? Well, you start to see them again, but up until this date.
Where you seeing Jerry curls at? I'm asking. I'm really wondering, where are you at where you seeing people wearing Soul Glow again? I'm just asking.
The Jerry
like on a regular.
Yeah,
not like at a theme, like on a regular, you see people walking around with Jerry curls. I'm just asking.
The Jerry curl's coming back because the Jerry curl or that look was it kind of it's like a South American black thing. And the more influx of South American blacks you have in Houston, because we're one of the closest border cities, they're bringing that style here. So if you go out in the city, in places where it's a dark Latino contingency, you'll see Jerry curls, bro.
You talking about females, or you talking
I'm talking about males and females. Like if do you go to a part of town that has a heavy dark Latino contingency? You have to. It's like you're not gonna find them in Midtown, but if you go to maybe some parts of Navigation, if you go to some parts of Ailey, some parts of it's because people congregate where they can find things of theirs. So you're not gonna find them. You're not gonna find a bunch of them in Sugar Land because it's not, But in places where those people congregate, you'll find it. You'll find it.
I'm not down you. I got you.
Right, you're a self-professed hermit, bro. You're like, I don't get out much, man. I stay at the house. You deal with your circle. You're not you try to tell you call me a social butterfly or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you say you're not the social butterfly. So
I probably get out more than you think I do.
I don't know. That's what you said.
No, when I say I'm not the social butterfly, I don't talk to these niggas. I be out and about. I just don't talk to niggas. I mind my business. I go where I want to go. I eat my tacos with my Latin people. I hop on a plane and go somewhere else. And don't nobody know where I'm at. But I be out. but I don't socialize. That's what I say. You the social butterfly, not me.
Oh, okay.
I'll be outside, bro.
Well,
Just, you know.
where you go? Where's your Latin spot, man? Let people know where your Latin. Let people
Well, you
know.
already know what side of town I am. So, you know, like you said, I hit navigation sometimes. There's a couple other spots over here. I go get the tacos at the taco truck where they don't speak no English and you got to pay cash. I'd be mad about that. Uh, It'd be some Latin people in Midtown. I go to like a little Latin bar, you know?
Latin people in Midtown.
Yeah.
Let's
How
see.
often do you go to Midtown? I'm
Let,
probably in Midtown more than you, though.
but let's see yourself, man.
What do you mean?
Latin people in Midtown.
Houston's a melting pot though, so it's
I,
not
I,
like how it used to be.
what you
Now
mean?
when you go to Midtown, like Midtown is full of everything. They got some Latin clubs over there, some fire like South American restaurants. So it's a mixture of everything now when you go to Midtown. You got like the little Woodrow's bars, you got like maybe some of the white bars, you got like the Hartons where it's a lot of black people go there. You got a couple of Latin dance clubs sprinkled in Midtown. It's a melting pot of everything. So,
But they're
not
not
just
living
one.
there.
Uh,
And what I'm saying is like,
not true.
what I'm saying is what my point my what I was saying is like, if you go somewhere where this is where they live, their kids go to school here, they shop here. This is they're like a Chinatown or a Vietnamese spot or a part of town that's distinctly Latin. You know what I'm saying? Then the people that are there are going to be a little different from the people who are going to Midtown to go to a club or to go to a eatery. It's different. It's a different type of people because you're going out to blah blah. I'm just going to the corner store. I'm just going to get something to eat. I'm just going to I'm going. I'm not dressing up. I'm just going. Hey, this is where I get my groceries from every Wednesday, every Friday, or whatever. But I mean, I get it.
Well, if that's the case, I live in a Latin community then, bro.
We could have a long discussion about Latins, but I don't want to do that because Latin is such a broad word.
It is.
It's
Because
such a
it
broad word.
encompasses a lot. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So yeah.
like
Are you seeing a bunch of Dominicans with the Jerry curl though? I'm just wondering.
I mean, I would have to ask them. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know off top. I'm just saying, like, man, somebody was telling was I was somebody sent me something and I called them and asked them about it about Mexicans and what a Mexican is, and it confirmed what I knew about already or what I was thinking that we mislabel people as Americans all the time because we just have small minds when it comes to foreign shit.
Damn.
It's true because like a Mexican, what a Mexican is more of an Indian than a Mexican or a Mexican, right? But then you have I don't want to go. That's a different conversation.
Yeah,
That.
I would defer to my Mexican homies to break that down for me.
I mean, it's historically like Mexicans speak Spanish because the Spaniards came in and invaded Mexico. Blah 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 blah. That's why they speak Spanish. They don't speak Mexican. They speak Spanish. And true or native Mexicans aren't light skinned and taller. They're shorter and what you call it because they were there. There's a breed of Mexican, or there's a contingency of Mexican people who are mixed with Spaniards. That's why you got the blue-eyed and the red-haired Mexicans and all that kind of stuff. And those are descendants of Spaniards because the Mexicans were the Mayans and the Aztecs. No, they don't have blue eyes and red hair and all that kind of stuff. And so, and even in Mexican culture, the ones who are darker are quote unquote looked down upon. You know, Guatemala is the border of Mexico, and the Mexicans treat the Guatemalans like we treat the Mexicans, as far as like y'all can't come in our country. They got the same Donald Trump type, put a wall up, can't come in here as whatever. But like I said, that's a whole different conversation that I want to get to. I want to get back to this art and this dance and this music. So as far as dancing, Have you ever created a dance for somebody, Miss Lee, or have you ever choreographed a dance? Because I've seen you
I
pushing.
collaborated on a product with my homegirl Tay Cheesy. We did a domestic violence event.
What's her name?
That's Tay Cheesy.
Okay.
Tay Cheesy. Yeah, she's from Louisiana originally, but yeah, we put together a contemporary piece. I say that's the most recent one. But that was for a domestic violence event, so that's on Facebook.
I'm somewhat of a dance. I'm somewhat of a danceologist. You know what I mean? I don't want to show you too many moves, but I know you see the neck work. I know you see the shoulders. You like Missy Elliott?
Yeah.
I be thinking like she's very. I feel like she's overrated. I don't know. I just like.
I don't.
I be like, man. I'm like, I don't know.
I like Missy. That's a talented woman.
I mean, I'm not saying she's not talented.
She got range. Like I can't. She has range.
Sock it to me like a. I used to always feel like she made big girl music. You know what I'm saying? Because all her songs had the same like premises. Like I got my heart broke, and I'm gonna get his ass back eventually, but he don't know what I got. But okay, two questions. When you're collaborating with a dance, like what is your mind frame?
It's a feeling. It's going with it. It's probably like mental memories in the back of my mind. That's why I was really good at filming. I watched a lot of movies growing up. Like I would watch them with my grandmother. It'd be stuff like Hitchcock, and you got like your Fred Astaire, you got like Funny Face. So I had that era. I had like the fantasy films. I had all the musicals. So it's a conglomerate of information that I feel like I just have back here. Plus, I was a theater kid growing up, so we did a lot of stage direction, and just it's a combination of things. It's a combination of things. So, and that kind of bleeds into like the fashion as well. I just have like a lot of stored up information, and I think that just kind of transcends and curates.
My first, well, I think maybe 2 or 3 times in my life I've choreographed some stuff or been a co-conspirator in choreographing something. The first time I was a sophomore in college, and the dance team used to practice at the same time we practiced basketball. And I'll never forget this shit because it was How Deep Is Your Love? With Cisco and Drew Hill and Redman, right? Rush Hour had just dropped. That was the hottest song of that was the hottest song that was the lead song for Rush Hour. And they were like, oh, we're gonna dance off of that, so we're practicing and they're doing a dance over there. And I'm like, man, that's my shit, you know what I'm saying? Side note, when I was real young, coach had always told me, like, hey, when you go to the I got with my guy, Greg Nelson. I don't know if he's listening or I don't know if he, but Greg Nelson, I was like, hey, just throw the ball over there. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna do a dance on the cheerleader. Da, 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 da. So this is during practice, shows my focus. I'm like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? So I go over there and I dive over there, and man, the time was perfect. Come on, I'm like, I do my little thing, and then and it's like, we should do that for real. I was like, we can. I was just talking, and she was a cutie, so I was like, yeah, we can do whatever you want to do. But anyway, ended up practicing for it, and doing it during the playoffs, or actually for the championship game, like at halftime, we went and did the dance, you know what I'm saying? And then I don't think I didn't choreograph it, but I put my little 2 cents in on the time when me and Dub, and when we was doing music, when we had the we supposed to do 50 Cent at the Woodlands, and we had some dancers. Our manager had the great idea to have some dancers, so we had some dancers come in, and everybody had a part. And I was like, hey, you know, since my part is last, and we should do this and da 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 da. And so there was a little part right there. But I say I like to say that as I was thinking about it, like I visualized how the music would feel. And like, okay, build off of that, or do I have a feeling? I'm like, okay, this whole song is gonna be feathery, so I'm gonna be feathery the whole song, or this song is hard.
It could vary because sometimes you're going off lyrics. Sometimes you're going off instrumentation. Sometimes you just flowing and doing whatever you feel. So I think it could vary. It could vary.
When's the last
But
time
it's all storytelling.
when's the last time you battled somebody? Freestyle dance battle.
I just saw one. I'm telling you, bro. I just saw one on IG, bro. They had like a little Halloween dance off.
I seen.
We was dancing. We didn't have a dance off. I haven't done a dance off in a while, but
yeah. I seen her.
Yeah.
Her friend hit the.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, no, that was like that was light.
But see, I seen her. You know, it could have been just, you know, friendly competition, but she gave it like the little shimmy out the way, and you know, like it's my turn.
Yeah. I just I like to see people. I like to see people displaying different sides of themselves, like growing. You know, not even growing, but it's like, okay, you've seen this of me. You see me in the background. Now you see me in the foreground. You see me in the, like, it's just a complete view of a person. That's just really neat to me. You know what I mean? Because there's a contingency of people who only saw you as the person who's working with that person, and now people are seeing you as the person who has, you know, they've seen your modeling and your designs. Now they're seeing that your designs match your energy, right? You know what I'm saying? Because people are like, what in our society, or the way we build things nowadays, like, you can't just be a great writer, you can't just be a great dancer, you can't just be a great orator. You have to be a product. And you know, for better or for worse, I think it sucks sometimes, but whatever. But like, to encapsulate the whole conversation, you gotta be super person. You gotta be super in the eyes of the public. You can't just be good at what you at one. You gotta be super. And you know,
I think it's that, or you have to, in my case, maintain an idea of something. Especially the level of impact that particular season had. Not that it's seen across the board that way. I'm not saying that at all, but it's just, I'm attached to this idea of what it wasn't even that, but you know, I created an image factory in my head that this was something that I can personally have or seek after.
Yeah.
So now you're attached to this idea, you're labeled this certain way. And I've had a lot of feedback on that end too, because it's just like, oh, that's not how a lady acts. You're like, you're dancing and you're out trail ride party, and people are like, you're gravitating the wrong type of attention. All these different things. I got crazy feedback, and positive and negative, but it's just kind of like, talent, and you could be multiple things at one time. You don't have to be this one thing, or I don't have to discredit you because I'm seeing you in a potential thing of what I thought you should be, and now you're doing something different. I'm like, just because I'm dancing, enjoying myself, having a good time, that doesn't make me less of a woman. That doesn't make me less of a person that did all the things that I did do, because I did leave an impact, and I did, provide a service and a help, and I did give a lot of hope to a lot of different people. So that doesn't discredit that. And that's what I want people to see it for. Because I'm like, don't get attached to a season or a role that I played or a position that I'm in, because that's going to change. But there's something that remains constant throughout that, and that's the entirety of who it is that I am. So if you can't rock with who I am, that's okay. But don't judge because you misunderstand.
I want to say, to add on to what you're saying, that's people want you to be. It's a fine line of being what you are or being what you want to be, and accommodating people's idealism of you, right? So because you're this, you got to be that. Because you're this, you got to be that. And if you do these other things over here, then oh man, you can't do that. How you gonna do that? You know what I mean? You do this, you can't do that and this. That's and that's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of the comprehension of other people and
or the level or path that they put on themselves.
On themselves, yeah.
Like so many people are like, oh, I can't do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, why not? I'm the type of person, like, I tell somebody quit, do everything, bro. Life is short. You better, man.
Look, we the way we're set up and taught, and the way that things are, it's like people don't look at you or at a person as a person. Like they make you a commodity or a fraction, like in every aspect of everything. It's like everything is a rollout, or everything is calculated, or the people try to say like it's calculated. Like if things were that calculated, man, you know how smooth the earth would roll. You know how things would move so smooth. If everything was so calculated and people were doing things on the level like, oh, I'm doing that to make money. Or if it was that simple, then the world wouldn't be certain. Like the spontaneity of life and the flavor of life is a spontaneity. And people want to box you in to be, okay, oh, you're this, you're a young Black woman, then you can't like opera. How you like opera? That's strange. Or you make clothes. Oh, you make clothes. They gotta be urban clothes. You can't make high fashion clothes. Or you tall and Black, you can't play tennis. Like you can add any increment to it. However, oh, you smoke weed, that means you must be this, that, and the other. You can't, whatever it is. Like, and so that's just the dynamic of the world we live in. And then on top of that, you gotta be super. You gotta be outstanding.
I think it's a beauty in it, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's beauty. It's a beauty in everything.
It's I've talked a lot about like parameters, right? We only allow things that we're exposed to. So when you're exposed to that pressure, a level of excellence becomes required. And I think it's necessary. Especially for our community. Like I feel like excellence should be pushed. I feel like standards should be brought back into play. It's a lot of things that fly and are allowed that shouldn't be.
Oh,
we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to get into the reality of it.
So let's go there. So hip hop versus rap. There's been a conversation going on for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, maybe years, about hip hop and rap and what's the difference. right?
Mm-hmm.
And so rap has a connotation of what rapping is. When I'm a rapper, I talk a certain way. I gotta, and hip hop is a culture.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that I'm gonna ask Doug first. Do you think that rap and hip hop are at odds, or do you think they're working cohesively?
I don't think they're at odds. So I always thought that hip hop itself was the culture, and rap was just one of the pieces of the culture. Forgive me if I don't know exactly every element that they say is a part of hip hop,
Yeah.
but like the MC portion of it, the DJ portion of it, the breaking or dancing portion of it, and even the graffiti portion of it. And I'm pretty sure I'm leaving out an element or two, but I thought that encompassed what hip hop was. So I don't think that I don't think that hip hop and rap are at odds. I think what's at odds is when people say this is rap versus true MCing, and then it gets diluted when people say, "Well, I ain't hip hop, I'm pop." I think that's where the struggle is. Saying, "Don't box me in as a hip hop artist. I am a pop artist," because I guess pop means popular music.
Let me just add to your conversation so you can have a pretext. The 5 elements of hip hop are lyricism, DJing, b-boying, b-girling, breakdancing.
What is b-boying? I don't know what that is.
That's it's the pop locking and hey.
Oh, so that would be like the dance. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Graffiti and historical knowledge of the movement. Those are the 5 elements.
Gotcha.
So
versus rap.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't say hip hop versus rap because MCing is part of hip hop. So
okay. Oh, hold on. What I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, okay. I have a stance on it. I'm not gonna say my stance first. I asked you first. Now I'm gonna ask Ms. Lee, who are your top 5 MCs in rap?
Ooh. All right, man.
I mean, it don't have to be
So,
accurate.
like,
Just five you think of 5, not your 5 top, but 5 of your favorites. Not your 5 favorites, but 5 of your favorites.
of just out of all time frames, or
Yeah, all time frames.
yeah.
okay. Let's go with Andre 3000,
Okay.
3 stacks.
J. Cole,
Okay.
Tupac, raising
Okay.
a lot.
Okay.
Those my top ones. Those my top ones.
Like Boogie throwing gang signs.
Lauryn Hill
Lauryn Hill. I'm gonna say you
Okay.
better put Miss Hill in there.
and
Boom, 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 boom,
yeah, I'll give it to Missy.
Yeah, but who?
I'll give it to Missy.
Missy?
I can't think of the other one. Missy
Okay.
Elliott.
All right.
I will say this before you give us your point, Bug. I think that as an old nigga, I'll be stuck in my old nigga ways about what I do deem as lyricism. I think the problem with it, the discussion now is some people are trying to exclude some of the newer upcoming acts, or just, and not just right now, within the last 15 years, and they're trying to say it's not hip hop because they aren't allowing new people to come in and evolve hip hop. They want to box it into what they want it to be, and they don't want to understand it. Like everything, stuff evolves. So to them, they're saying it's not hip hop, but really these younger artists are coming in, and it's just the evolution of what hip hop is to them. So that's where I think some of the struggle comes in as well.
Okay,
I
so
think it's more so talking about culture, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking about culture, we're talking about impact and the effect that it has on community.
That's where I'm going
right?
to. That's where I'm going to. Keep going.
If you look at current artistry and you listen to the lyrics and the impact and the things that people are verbally saying, a lot of things are more centered around clickbait. It's all about, oh yeah, attention, you know, you got the drama and oh who with who did what with what.
Was not about who was the best person with words, right? Like if you think about it, like a diss record is childish as fuck, man. It's childish, man. It's super childish. Like we talking about each other. We ranking. But we'll take a diss record and turn a diss record into like real life shit. Like I was just talking about you, bro. We was just talking shit to each other, man. You want to shoot me or kill me or beat my mama up or throw. We can't even play the dozens, right? But what I'm saying is the verbiage of rap has turned into like, okay, rap is about.
Hold on, let me ask a question right quick though.
Go ahead.
Because I like that point you brought up. So when you bring up the point about what has happened with the music for the diss record, you say you think the diss record is childish, and it's turned into us playing the dozens into now like real life implications.
I'm talking from the get green. I'm saying from the get green.
Hold on, I'm saying I'm standing on what you said with these real life implications where you know people putting diss records out, and we see it all the time now, more prevalent now than then, where people getting shot and killed over diss records and shit, right? Is that a reflect? Hold on.
Go ahead.
What do you mean? No. What are you saying all about?
I'm saying no. They was getting shot and killed over diss records then in the '80s.
I get that.
Yeah.
What I'm asking you is that more of a reflection on the music, or is that more of a reflection on the environment, like things that aren't about the music? Is that more of a reflection on maybe the street implications and the things that were going on behind the scenes that honestly have nothing to do with the diss record? It's more or less a byproduct of that activity that's going on.
No.
I don't know how people are speaking where they come from, though. A lot of music is about where people are at. Yeah. But like that's what makes the difference, because if I'm listening to something, you know, I see like little kids, they like, oh yeah, they playing with the toy like I'm about to shoot them. I'm like, okay.
That's what I'm saying. So, what I'm saying is Kurt Cobain versus Juice WRLD, right? What's the difference? What's the difference?
There's no difference.
No difference. But Juice WRLD is like he died a addict, right? Mm-hmm. So did Kurt Cobain. But we look at it different. We look at it different because look how he displayed his addiction and look how he displayed his addiction, right? They were both. What I'm saying is when Kurt Cobain displayed his addiction, he talked about how it was tearing him up on the inside and how he was trying to deal with it.
Okay.
When Juice WRLD did the same thing, there was an element of aggression and like, oh yeah, I feel I'm addicted to these I have an addiction, and in my addiction, I actualize it in this way. I mean, I act. Go ahead.
But you have the differences of them expressing it is because it's two different people who are expressing two different pains. It might be similar because they use the same tool as a coping mechanism, but essentially they're speaking from two different experiences of two different pains.
You think so?
Yeah, there's similarities, of course. Two different stories.
That's what I'm saying now. it's similar to. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm saying that if I break down Kurt Cobain and I break down Juice WRLD, there are more similarities than there are differences.
I understand that, and I'm not
even in the expression.
I get that too, but you're still going to have two different expressions because you're still talking about two individuals who will walk different paths. Yes, they might cross paths of similarity with their past, but you still have two different walks.
No, but what my question is, if we have 25 likenesses and 10 differences, right? Why are the differences highlighted? Are overshadowed by like, well, in our life, we both do drugs, we both are depressed, we both come from middle class families, we both are not broke, we both are not in poverty. You know what I'm saying? We have all the things in common.
But
we
when
both
you say,
do. Hold up, we
when
both
you
do
say
pills.
But when you say the differences are highlighted, and what do you mean by that? I'm trying to figure out how did that come into play?
But what I'm saying is that the difference is that Kurt Cobain is speaking of depression and saying, I want to hurt myself, or I am going to hurt myself. And Juice WRLD is saying, I'm going to hurt myself and hurt you. There's 10 differences, but we don't focus on the 25 likenesses. We focus on the 10 differences.
But when you say we, who do you mean? Who's focusing?
Society.
Okay.
I mean, we can say that it's an opinion, but
no, I'm not tripping on nothing you're saying. I'm trying to figure out like what you're actually. I'm not tripping on what you're saying. I'm saying out what you're saying.
I'm saying that we look at different artists in different ways, and most of it is based on color. It's based on color because a white artist can do the same thing as a black artist, but it's color, but it's also how it's the message you relayed, right? Because when I say rap against hip hop, I'm like, if you say the word rapper, people don't think to themselves of all these of D1 or Lecrae, or that's not the first names that come. Generally speaking, you might have some people like, if I say who's the top 10, like when I said top 5 rappers, nobody thought about D1 or Lecrae or Will Smith or Kid and Play, or like how many rappers are great rappers who don't even get put in the conversation because they're not street enough. They're not hard enough. They ain't gangster enough. They don't talk about these aggressive things. Like Will Smith is a dope ass rapper. Will Smith probably one of the greatest rappers of all time. Word for word.
I've said that and you've ridiculed me about that.
No, you always say that. Wrong person, bro. You talking about Kevin them.
No, you ridiculed me. You have ridiculed me about my love of Big Willie style.
That's what I'm saying. Bro. No, I haven't. You keep saying, you always say that, and you like, because I didn't even know you. Look, I didn't even know you were right? Big Willie style came out in 99, right? Yes or no?
Of course it did.
But I didn't know you 99.
No, you didn't, bro. So
how I'm really curious about something I know you about. But anyway.
No, listening to that shit in 06.
Oh, well, I don't know about that part. You listen to Big Willie style in 06, man?
I listen to it right now, bro. See, and you laughing. And
what's your favorite?
That's the same laugh.
What's your favorite cut?
Why are you asking me name of songs? For the 20,000th time on this podcast, you know, goddamn well, I do not listen to names of songs. I put that shit in my playlist and I ride and listen, and I sing Big Willie style, getting jiggy with it, and I make more money than Eminem without cussing. I listen to all that shit.
What's the first? What's the hook of the song you like?
Why are you asking me shit like this, bro? Don't be trying to see.
I'm just asking a question.
You be trying to discredit my text with this. Well, what's this and what's that? And you know I don't be knowing that shit because I be drunk 90% of the time when I be listening to music because I don't listen to music sober. I listen to it drunk. Anyway,
I ain't gonna say you a weird nigga because you listen to Will Smith drunk. I ain't gonna say that. But I am gonna say that my favorite cut from Big Willie Style was the title track Big Willie Style with Lisa Lopez. That's
So
my
let me ask
favorite.
you this though.
Yeah.
So I will say me being a black male, you know, I'm not familiar with it. I can't
Like
relate with it.
what?
I can't tell you what Kurt Cobain is talking. Like if Kurt Cobain is dealing with whatever, I might not be able to relate to that. I could relate to the things that Juice WRLD is rapping about, or any rapper who was rapping about that they have experienced growing up in their environment, because I might have grew up in a like-minded environment where a Kurt Cobain or a country artist or another artist that might be talking about some of their trials and tribulations, I might not have experienced that, so I don't relate to it. So I don't think it's highlighting this over here and not highlighting that over there. I just think it's things that I can relate to. That's why I can get jiggy with it. See what I did there?
Mm-hmm. I'll say this. Kurt Cobain and Juice WRLD were talking about damn near the exact same thing, to the point where they almost like there are samples of Kurt Cobain in Juice WRLD music, and like I said, they're not like it ain't like I could feel you a little more if Juice WRLD was talking about I grew up in the hood, so and so and so and so. But what's happened is that you have a lower upper middle class like the difference between the US and other places is that the US has a large middle class. Other places have large lower classes. So there's more people in the US that are in that lower middle, upper middle class, whatever. So like their issue is like, I'm not being understood. I'm not given the chance to breathe the way I want to breathe. Um linguistically, artistically, psychologically, right? So when Juice WRLD is singing his songs, or he's talking about being able to express, not being let to express. What Kurt Cobain is saying, I'm not being able to express. Just teen acts. One of his biggest songs was Teen Spirit, right? Because the teen spirit, as long as time has been around, has been suppressed by older people. Like, no, cut that teen stuff down. Y'all need to be more this. And it's like, no, I'm a teen. I need to be like this. But all that being said, the lyrics are similar.
But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How would I know? How would I know if I never listened to Kurt Cobain? So what if I'm a teenager who grew up in a world where I never listened to Kurt Cobain? So the person I listened to was Juice WRLD.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Juice WRLD in his music may have rapped about some things that I deal with on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna gravitate to that and understand that. It's not that I'm not saying they're not the same or similar. I've never listened to Kurt Cobain in my life.
Yeah. And that's
yeah.
interesting. Not for you. What I'm saying is that it's interesting that people that people was like, well, I've never listened to Kurt Cobain in my life. Then there's an artist called Kurt Cobain, right?
1000%. Now I in at 42, I've never really listened to Kurt Cobain. I do know that there is a rapper called Kurt Cobain's, but I ain't never listened to Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Just like there's a rapper called Roscoe Pete Cold Chains. And there is a section of people who know who that is, but nobody knows who Roscoe Pete Coltrane, the figure on Dukes of Hazzard is.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm talking about? I get it.
Were you just Dukes of Hazzard fan, Miss Lee?
1000%. Oh, I'm finna say I was. And I ain't even realized that what the General Lee was. I was a kid growing up, had the trash can with the Confederate flag. Ain't even know what that shit was until I came to dope.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch the Dukes of Hazzard, Miss Lee?
I did not.
What was your childhood um sitcom or television show?
Oh, I was in the movie.
What was what was your movie? What was your movies then?
Um, I like the Tim Burton film.
Okay, okay.
I like his art style.
Edward
Like
Scissorhands.
yeah, Beetlejuice, stuff like
Be-
that. Creepy.
The time, man, and it was the funniest, meanest thing ever. You know, when you're young, you can't control your laugh for some reason, and like we be in
You're an
class,
adult. You can't control
we be in class or something, and he hit you like Beetlejuice over there. You know, he just like he would say it like that was her real name, like Beetlejuice over there tripping again, and I'd be like, oh man, God, oh my God, oh my God, kids are so cruel. Beetlejuice. What were your movies growing up, Doug?
it. See, bro, when I was younger, I got a hold to a lot of black exploitation,
Yeah.
and some of my favorite movies growing up weren't real movies. They were docs. I fell in love with this one doc, and it talked about the men, the international men of leisure from the Midwest. So it was it was like some Memphis niggas, some St. Louis niggas and shit like that.
Mhm.
And I just love pimp culture. That and then like the drug dealer shit. So like some of the docs that talked about cocaine in Miami in the mid 70s to early 80s.
Watched the shit as a kid.
Yeah, bro. It's like sixth grader. You know what I'm saying? Like a preteen. Cause bro, I had nothing but VHSs. Like my older brother would watch these gangster movies and shit. My old man loved them, and we had cable, so I would watch any and everything that was on cable. So when they talked about like uh the drug dealers like Pablo Escobar, uh Griselda, some of the other people, bro, I saw that shit and I wanted to be that. Like when I saw the original doc about Boston George and the smugglers and all of that shit before the movie blow. When I saw the actual doc, I was like, damn, I want to do that shit.
Hmm.
Like I really wish I was
Heard my commentary, man.
nah, don't return me commentary, bro. Like the original versions of my of Hawaii, not Hawaii 5 Miami Vice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. I see them shits and was like, damn, I need to be the drug dealer that Vice is going after. Because back then, like it was fly, bro. Like every $100 bill in Miami got traces of cocaine on it. I wanted to be that nigga that put the traces of cocaine on $100 bills.
Oh my goodness.
I
1,000%.
I'm gonna reserve my commentary, man. I
I
don't.
saw Tony Montana and was like, I wouldn't have died, bro. I would have figured a better way out. I wouldn't have died. I still would have hit the whole line of coke on my desk, but I would have made it out.
I thought The Godfather was cool.
The
And
Godfather was cool.
Scarface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Cool persona.
man, I grew up in the crack era, so
Lord.
Outside of that, I love horror movies though. I'm the guy that watches the horror movies and feel like I would have found a way out. Why are y'all going that way? I scream at the TV and ask, why are you trying to escape through the AC vents? You're not gonna make it out.
So what's your favorite scary movie?
I am a Jason Voorhees fan. I love Jason Voorhees to the point where I'm about to get Jason Voorhees tattooed on me. Yeah, I love Jason Voorhees. I'm not a huge Freddy Krueger fan because I think Freddy was a bitch. I'm not a fan of I'm a fan of Super. Yeah, Freddie was a bitch. I'm not a
Why was
fan.
why you say that?
Cause he really was a bitch though, bro. He attacked you in your dreams where you really can't fight back because he got all the power. Nah, nigga, come face me in real life like Jason Voorhees do, bro. Yeah, and then he a pedophile too. You know what I'm talking about? He really a pedophile. But
No, okay. Speaking of pedophiles,
hold on, let me.
I
wait,
love the Saw movie, by
Huh?
the way. Saw movie.
Saw. I
See,
saw.
Yeah.
I seen two of them.
I don't fuck with the. I don't really fuck with the horrors that kind of could happen. So like, I don't
I
fuck.
like the realism of it because I'm like,
Nah.
okay, yeah, like this could really go down.
To this day,
Like,
I wanna go to escape rooms, Miss Lee, and I won't go because of Saw.
I saw. I think half of like Saw 3, and then I saw the one with Chris
that
Rock,
was good.
and I was like, oh man, come on now.
I didn't
See,
see the
you
Chris
told
Rock
me
one.
you saw it. How did you like the one with Chris Rock, Miss Lee? Because I have
I
watched
didn't
the
see
songs.
that one. I didn't see that one.
You don't need to either. Don't do yourself.
No, I just feel like it's gonna. I don't know. I feel like once you reach past a certain threshold in a series, you need to stop.
Well, there's a new Saw. There's a new Saw video game out now.
What?
Yeah, it just dropped. It dropped maybe a couple, probably right around Halloween. It's a Saw video game.
That's probably hard.
See, I fuck with Jigsaw, so I like Saw. But because of Saw, I won't go to an escape room.
They should do like one of them what they call like the
VR.
VR. Yeah, with the Saw
Listen,
game.
Ms. Lee, do you fuck with shit like The Exorcist and all of that?
No.
Yeah, see, I don't dabble with that too, because I don't. Yeah, because I feel like
Paranormal Activity. Nah.
I watched the
Yeah.
paranormal. I watched the Paranormal Activities. They was kind of
Those
funny.
are so phony though.
That was kind of funny. I like the cheesiness of them.
They're so boring. I fall asleep. I said the last one I was really scared watching was Insidious though. Like that first one.
Nah, I'm not watching. See that type shit, the possession type shit, they get a little bit too like you start playing around with religion
We
and
do
devil.
But it seems like, you know what though? But it seems like, because it seems weird, because like those are situations that you'll never really be in, like those are situations that force you to deal with like reality, like, because the only time you would really deal with something like that is if you're by yourself or in a dark alley.
Like
But
what?
you, like The Exorcist or something like that. But like, you're never gonna have to deal with Jason. Like that's total fantasy. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
But
There's
then,
some Jasons out here.
I
but
mean, you
it's
might
really
have to fuck
yeah.
with a serial killer, but you know, like I do. I all right, and I do like the serial killer movies because I kind of like. I like to try to figure out why serial killers do what they do. But when it comes to some of that stuff that like Insidious and Exorcist and stuff like that, because of some of my beliefs and how they're set up, I don't like dabbling with that shit. So I won't watch it. I won't watch something that's loosely based off some voodoo and black magic. I don't really like watching that shit either.
I'll tell you that when they did the Dahmer, the Netflix TV show, that was hard to watch.
Yeah, I ain't watched that.
Like, yeah, that was a lot.
Well,
I don't know
I
about
want
you.
I want to end on this conversation, because it's getting to that time. I got games in the morning, or games tomorrow, and I got stuff in the morning. But Lauryn Hill. Okay,
Mhm.
so somebody made a comment about Lauryn Hill, her not performing and showing up, and somehow somebody was like, "Yeah, man, people don't. She never came out with a second album because she's hard to work with, or she burned her bridges from her first album."
That's what they said.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I thought it just that her first album was so great. She didn't have to drop a second one.
Well, that don't make sense either. But
Maybe she didn't want to.
I mean, I think she very much explained why she didn't several times. But
what you say? I ain't hear what you say.
She 1,000 times over said the industry was a usurper of truth, and like she didn't want to be caught up in the lies and the games and the politics and the fakery that was. Her first album was about that as well. About
Time out.
yeah.
Usurper. What does that mean?
It takes things from you. Usurp, to take something out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Her first album was about that. The first album was about, how the industry didn't want her to make that album. How they didn't want her to get pregnant. Like, oh, you're pregnant, you need to have an abortion because you too talented to be doing this, that, and another. But
it's super spiritual,
right? And it's like, I'm saying,
you too talented to get pregnant. Jesus, that's harsh.
Right.
But and the thing,
you'll be surprised they got on what's that girl, the Little Mermaid?
Oh, how
didn't they like cancel a reward or something because she was pregnant?
Yeah.
What?
But
crazy.
And the thing is, I'm like, and people will co-sign with that. There's a bunch of people who will co-sign. Oh, she don't come to shows, da da da. She's late, da da da. And I'm like, man, this same industry hid a pedophile for 25 years. Was making concessions for a pedophile for 25 years.
What are you talking about, Kelly?
Yeah. Like, well, they knew it wasn't a secret. Let him play, like, let him play with words in our faces. Pied Piper, all this thing for years. But nobody.
As long as you're making the money, bro, they don't care, bro. As long as you're making the money, they're gonna hide it. And then once the money train is gone, then they just,
I think that there's half true. But I'm saying that's true. But the truth, what I'm saying is that it's so easy to put a jacket on a black woman. Like, it's so easy to put a jacket on a black woman. Like, it's just like people will be like, oh, they hard to work with. They got attitudes. They just that and the
black
other.
women get the most without the reward across the board. Like, yeah. Like,
in some ways, yeah, I agree with you.
Because women are already
conditioned.
Yeah. So you add black on top. It's kind of like.
And what I'm saying, and it made me think. I was like, man, it's just crazy, or it's just interesting to me how quickly, or how that stamp of something can be labeled on one person, and then, but when you bring up something else, it's like, oh no, that don't count, man. That don't count. Somebody said something. Somebody says
perspective control.
Yeah, somebody said something about sorry to cut you off, but somebody said something about polygamy. They're like, oh man, that's evil. That's this, that, and other. I'm like, damn, that's evil. I'm like, unless it's outside of Christianity. In Christianity, you gotta. I'm like, damn. So I just started naming off atrocities.
Yeah, I was saying that ain't really true though, but.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm not saying what you said, what they said ain't really true, but
no, but I'm saying, I'm like, the Holocaust, slavery, Jim Crow laws, the Hamas attack last, you know what I'm saying, Warren, you can name 1,000 atrocities that's happened, you know what I'm saying? Huh?
I said, so you're for polygamy?
I'm for whatever makes somebody happy, man. Not that that's what I want to do. I'm just saying, if that's what make y'all happy, man. Hey, well, who am I to tell you that you wrong in your happiness? If y'all agree on something, if y'all have an agreement about something, and that's what y'all do, man, that's what y'all do. Because I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. You know what I mean? I don't have the answers because, like, every time we as human beings have the answers, something shows us we have no idea what the hell we talking about. Every single time.
I think the real problem be, like, you might not be a fan of something, but that don't mean that you gotta persecute somebody else because that's their thing. So I don't have to be a fan of polygamy, but I don't have to discredit someone and label them evil and this, that, and the third because I don't get down with it. Like, because it ain't for me, but it's for you, and that's cool. It's for you, it ain't for me. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like we all live in glass houses, man. Like
1000%.
like if you're a human being, man, somebody could throw a stone at your house and it'll break something. You know what I'm saying? But people be like, "Oh no, man! See you over here, you sell dope. That make you bad. Like nigga, you do this. You know what I'm saying? Or
The only hard out I truly have where I just don't fuck with you is like pedophilia, bro. Like you fucking with kids, I fucking hate you.
Man, Mary was 14, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm just me personally. If I
yeah, I
find out
feel
that
you.
you an adult and you fuck with kids,
14
bro,
is a whole
death to you, my nigga.
I'm just saying that Mary was 14, bro. So
Marry who?
Jesus mama.
different era.
Different era,
Yeah, they
but
used to have like arranged
Yeah,
marriages,
my
like
aunt got married at
12.
like 15, 14.
that's what
or
I'm
something.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying it's right or
but
wrong.
this ain't that.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm saying like somebody can, if people don't look at situations individually, and that's the problem with a lot of things, is that we'll put a blanket on something or put a jacket on a bunch of stuff. So like I said with Lauryn Hill, they'll be like, "Oh, she a black woman. She had an issue with this. She's bad. She's hard to work with. So she's, you know what I'm saying." They don't want to look at the intricacies and at the individual situation. They just want to get a quick fix, put a blanket on it, and go like, "Oh, you this age and you mess with that age of person. Okay, well now hold up. What's the dynamics? Like, I don't like it, but let me at least hear it out and see what happened so I can make a full, you know what I'm saying? Because
But 14 is not. I mean, I'm 24. I don't even think I've unlocked. They say your brain like clicks at 25.
yeah.
I technically haven't even started my logical mind. So from that standpoint, a
Yeah.
person is not mentally, like I say that all the time too, like love is an intelligence. And a lot of people don't study and their brains aren't equipped to make sound decisions.
I agree.
So if I don't have the ability to make a sound decision, how can
Yeah.
I be for or against anything? My brain is not even there yet. And I think that's where that issue comes in at, because that person may have an understanding, but if a person has an understanding and you're getting with someone who doesn't have an understanding, you're manipulative. You're manipulating that person.
Watch this.
So
Watch this. So when them 50-year-old man and 60-year-old man is sending them 18-year-old boys to war, that ain't manipulation. When them
it is.
when them
It is.
40-year-old men come to your school when you 16 and be like, "Hey
It
man."
is, but that's why I said earlier, like a lot of the real issues aren't being addressed. But the reason why things are the way that they are is because people don't want to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's really a generational parental thing. Like our parents got equipped with something and they were only working with what they had. So they
Yeah.
passed that information
Yeah.
down. And that cycle is constantly being repeated. So, if we're not prepped and we're not raised with the proper mentality, or we're not even fed the proper information, we're not going to be able to impact or change anything. We're just going to keep repeating a cycle. So it's just allowing yourself to develop a certain intellectual maturity so that when you do produce or you are passing down knowledge, you're able to equip them so they could be better prepared, and that will change the pattern. But that's going to take time. You could just plant a seed. Like, yeah, because
I totally agree. I totally agree. And that's the thing about it. Like you're saying, like the jacket we put on one person or on one set of people, or you know what I'm saying, like we could put that jacket on anybody in a different aspect. And like, but in the same breath, there are some people who are equipped or like, because we're all individuals in this different situations, this person might have been raised a way to understand and to have a knowledge. Like I know adults were emotionally sound. I know 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds. I know grown people who can't control their emotions. So it's like, oh, well, because I'm a certain age, I'm allowed to act this way. I'm allowed to be childish and have a 15-year-old demeanor. People will be okay with that. But you know what I'm saying? But cause I'm not okay or being, I'm just saying that it's just it's we don't look at things. We look at things in the light that we feel, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes your feelings are just like the wind. They can go this way or that way. And, you know what I'm saying? And if we working on feelings, then that shit ain't real at all. That's just not real.
But see, but just being human, bro, your feelings and your emotions are gonna play a part in who you are. So if you're
play a
not
part.
operating from time to time with your feelings in mind, I'm not saying you have to operate solely off of how I feel, but like that's gonna be a big part of who you are and how you operate.
I mean, it depends though. So
like tools.
Say that one more time.
Yeah.
I view it as a tool.
It's a tool. Yeah.
It ain't it. That's not
but it is a part of who you are though.
I'm saying, okay, like your heart could go against your mind, right?
Yes.
So that means you're not your heart or your mind because it's you feeling both of those things. So that means these are tools to navigate. So it's just learning how and when to utilize certain things. Like I'm not going to use a fork to scoop up water.
Even though I like forks. Even though I like forks. It's my favorite.
I could, and my fork is useful when I need, to pick something up, stab something. Yeah. But this is not the situation to use a fork in. So when you start viewing your heart and you start viewing your mind like tools, then that helps you better navigate a situation. Okay, I'm interacting with this person. This person may be a little bit more emotional and they have an emotional standpoint. I need to use my logic tool or my mental tool to navigate this situation. Oh, okay, I have my child. My child is coming to me. They want me to feel concerned. I have a certain level of logic understanding because I'm a lot more mature than them in this area. But right now they need me an emotional standpoint. So let me meet them with my heart. Like when you start viewing things as a tool, you can really step back and you don't have that bias. Because when you're operating in your heart or when you're operating in your mind, you're operating in a bias. You can't see above a situation. You're engulfed. So you got to bring yourself out of being engulfed of one or the other and say, okay, cool. Let me step back. What are both of these things telling me right now? Which one is more powerful? What is the pros and cons? And you can start weighing out options. You got to.
I agree. Come above. I agree, and I think people who operate like that, they have good emotional intelligence. And to what Boogie said, when you do run across people who only operate off feeling, they're not in tune with their emotional intelligence, and they just rolling off of shit because they feel this way, and you can't do that.
But we've been taught that, and not to knock them or whatever, but we've been taught that. We've been taught that. We reinforce that. I'm a match energy. I'm a match the energy you give me. If you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, match energy, man. I'm not matching your energy if it don't fit my energy. If you come in here mad at me, I ain't gonna match your energy, be mad at you. What for? I don't want to be mad. Right? Oh. That's just that's emotional intelligence. Not saying, right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying in general, like, but there are more people who will be like, or it's taught and it's expressed to us and it's visualized to us through media and through outlets that when somebody comes to you with a certain type of energy, you match that energy. They come to you crunk and what you hold up, what's going on? You all right? You know what? I gotta go. I'll be back. We'll talk about it later. Or it's 15,000 different ways you can navigate a situation. But like I said, we're taught, it starts when we're young. If somebody hits you, hit them back. And it starts at the simplest part, and it just grows from there. Not if somebody hits you, figure out why they hit you, or step back and looking. If they hit you, hit them back. Don't think about it. Don't conceptualize the situation. Don't look at your surroundings. If they bigger than you, grab something. You know what I'm saying? Like you tell that to a 5-year-old, to a 6-year-old, to a child. That's gonna sit. We ain't nothing but our childhood traumas. That's all we are.
But I do think
So
some
you
of
can
that
step
is
out of
trying to
it.
teach survival, though.
Survival
Like,
for what, nigga? This
what
ain't
do you
no.
mean
We
survival
we
for
not
what?
in
When somebody
Serbia,
just,
nigga.
nah, my nigga, if somebody just come out of nowhere and still off on you, like, my first thought is to defend myself to a point where I'm fine. So if I'm walking down the street and you just roll up on me and start stealing off on me, my first thought isn't to back up to understand why you're trying to attack me. My first thought is to stop you from attacking me.
Oh yeah,
Like,
okay.
that's
So
my first
so
thought.
so hold up. So is your first thought to get away from the situation or to dead the situation?
What do you mean by dead situation? That's my question.
Is your first thought to get away from this situation that you didn't cause, or is your first thought to retaliate or make sure you're good physically? You know, think to yourself, I got stolen. Let me get out of here, man, and see what the hell going on.
I'm probably gonna fight and move at the same time. So my first reaction is going to be to get to a point to where I can see the entire landscape of what's going on, how many people attacking me, or who's attacking me, and what's coming at me.
So to get
My
away
first
first.
thought is not to get away; it's to see what's going on. And if me seeing what's going on means I'm two-piecing whatever is in this view to just hit me until I can move around and see what's going down, that's what I'm gonna do. My first thought is to assess the situation, what's going on. I'm trying to figure out what's
I'm
going
more
on.
flight response.
Fight or flight,
I'm trying
right?
to figure out.
Flight then fight.
I'm trying to
You
figure
said
out
fight
what's
then
going
flight.
on.
Yeah, I mean,
Flight then fight.
But that's me though.
I mean, and that's nothing, no judgment zone, nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, if somebody starts shooting, you ain't finna pull out your gun and start shooting back. You're gonna get away first, right?
If somebody starts shooting, and so
And
all
you
right,
got your gun on you, and you start shooting, you gonna pull your gun and start shooting back, or you gonna get away from the situation and then pull your gun out.
I'm probably pulling my gun out and ducking at the same time. If I'm being 100%, 1,000% true to you. If
Yeah,
I'm walking down the street and somebody start busting, I am
yeah,
finding cover and I am
yeah.
pulling out at the same time.
You're finding cover first.
I'm
That's just
finding
that's
cover.
that makes common sense.
Me finding cover and me jumping behind this car and pulling my gun out is one motion. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If I could avoid the situation,
Exactly.
cool.
I'm trying
If
to
I
get.
can't,
I'm not saying that I'm Rambo and I'm finna stand in the middle of the street and shoot people. What I am saying is, for me, it's self-preservation. So while
Yeah,
I'm finding cover, I'm preparing myself to fight if I need to. Now, once I find cover with my gun in my hand and I see the shooter 3 blocks away,
yeah,
I'm not finna rotate around and go bust at the shooter. That's clearly not shooting at me.
yeah. But you all got.
I see the shooter shooting 3 blocks away. I'm ready to engage. And all right, cool. Now I see what's going on. I see my exit strategy. I'm out.
But you definitely gonna run for cover first.
I'm definitely finding cover first.
And so, but if somebody punch you,
I'm assessing the situation because at that point, I don't know. I can try to run to the right, and I still might be getting hit in the side of the head, and then a nigga might come from the left and still off on me too. So if I see you out the corner of my eye and I see a fist come, I'm turning and I'm turning. I'm getting ready. I'm assessing the situation, and we either gonna fight or I'm gonna run. If it's 5 niggas trying to jump me, yes, I'm running. If it's one dude stole off on me and finna try to steal off some more, he finna get the business. But that's me though.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, everybody's different, man. No judgment zone, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. But I do think that
I do agree with what you said earlier. My bad. I do agree with what you said earlier. Sometimes we do. I've heard that. It's hit. So he turns around and slaps the shit out of this girl or slaps the shit out of this boy,
Yeah.
not realizing that child honestly was just playing and hit you on accident. So we don't teach conditions when just saying that, when putting a blanket statement on it. If a kid hit you, hit them back. If they bigger than you, pick something up. Like you have to be responsible. If you want to teach your kid how to protect himself, you got to kind of do it. You got to do it responsibly, bro. Where it's not that blanket statement of that. Because I do agree with you. Those teachings and cultures lead to greater shit that that is fucking up our community. Because
But our community's fucked up though, right?
yeah, you don't have to match aggression with aggression. There's a time and place for that. And to be honest with you, 90% of the time, you do not need to match aggression with aggression. You can easily talk through some shit.
There's a study. It says our emotions last for like 3 seconds. And when we're feeling them for a long time, we're just basically remembering and basking in that feeling.
Man,
So
say it
you really only
again.
feel something for like that much time.
Man, I was talking
After that
my
is gone. So you just reactivated it.
Unless you as petty as me, bro, and hold grudges, I feel like if somebody do something to me and I have history with them, you might do something to me on this Thursday, and I'm gonna just remember the past 25 Thursdays you pissed me off. And then I'm gonna just decide to blow up. That's usually what happens when I choose to cuss Boogie out. That's usually what happens. Like Boogie didn't say something to me for the 5th Friday, and I'm like, you know what, bro? You've been saying something to me for these last 5 Fridays. I choose violence today.
Well, okay, but okay, yeah. I want to say that it's the level of conceit though, bro, for everybody, because it's a level of conceit, or not even conceit, but like just selfishness, man. Because you get caught up, a person, not you, a person gets caught up in it. Oh, we was talking today, me and my brother, my little brother, about things we done when we was younger and how our minds changed. And it's like, yeah, I remember one time, uh, my bro called me. He and Paul Quinn. He said they finna jump him. So I get my piece, put it in the car. I drive from Houston to Dallas full speed to Paul Quinn. I'm mad the whole way, but I get there to do what I do, and the situation was diffused before it even got started. You know what I'm saying? So now I didn't calm down, and I don't even want to be where I'm at. I'm like, oh man, I don't even want to drive back with this piece because I've been Dallas out of, you know what I'm saying? And I was telling about the time somebody called us talking about their girlfriend was getting something at U of H. And you remember that? And the whole time, like, bro, man, oh, this is a bad idea, man. Like, hold up, man. Like,
it was a bad idea. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you know how many girls at U of H, man? You know how many men and females? Why is it that? Why did they pick her? Why is it? And he don't even go to U of H. So how is he go? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like 15 dynamics. We finna run from our comfort area to go to campus to do, like, it don't make sense, man. You know what I'm saying? I went, but the whole time I'm like bug in the ear. But just saying that, like you said, we take that 3 seconds and we relive the moment. We keep reliving it over and over until we worked ourselves up into a lather. Where we could take that same 3 seconds and be like, oh man, and been mad for that 3 seconds and then let it go and kept going. But that speaks to everybody's different makeup. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't the same. So I understand it's not gonna be like, but we're not taught. We don't teach each other. And that's by design, that's by infrastructure, that's from history of, this country, the history of, we're taught to take to, like, man, them Serbians don't like you, man. Them Russians hate you. Them so-and-sos don't like you. Them Jews is against you. Whatever name you want to put for other people. And like, man, he don't even know me. How he don't like me? Or they ain't never met me before. But I'm taking that 3 seconds, or that moment that happened 20
landscape is Russia, and they say the Russians don't like Americans, or they say the Chinese don't like Americans.
Yeah.
I bet if you just sit two random Americans and Chinese people or Russians in the room together, bro, they won't have an issue.
No. And even if they do have an issue, the issue is not with you and me. It's with our government. It's with our governments and the people that you know we're vicariously hated. Oh man, well you voted for him and he did this, so you must be with him. Like, no, I ain't know he gonna do that. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? And he told me that y'all was doing this. I was riding with him because he said y'all was bad. I ain't really, but yeah, we got off track, man. But
I do enjoy a good amount of healthy violence and aggression from time to time.
Yeah, man.
I do.
Because I mean, I said we're gonna leave on this, but somebody was telling me I forgot who I was talking. I forgot who I was talking to. I remember that it was yesterday, I think. But I was like, people pretend, right? It's like there's a level of violence in football, right? You can't ignore it. You can't pretend. I don't care what rule you put in there, there's a violence in football. And the more you try to hide the violence, the more you're gonna have instances where that violence comes up and now you look stupid. Because it's violence involved in it. And that's how it is with
is like that savagery. Like you think about our ancestors, and you got like hunters, and people who fight. like it was literally protector. That was their role, protectors.
Can you fight?
No.
Well, are you a wrestler? You're a biter?
I'm sure it's there. I don't go there. I try not to.
I can see you getting into you get in an argument and like everybody's like, why you messing with Lee though, man? Like Lee don't mess with nobody. Y'all leave Lee alone.
I'll be chilling. I try to chill. I'm not gonna say it's not there. That would be a lie. But I don't want to go there if we don't have to. Man.
I can see. Okay, for real, this is the last thing I'm gonna say because I find it funny, but it's not funny, but it's funny. But it's funny, but it's not funny, but it's funny. And I don't know if you were here for this experience, but you were there. I just happened to be going through my Instagram. I have several friends from and I happened to see Mr. Reeves, right? And he was dancing in the street. And these cars wrecked watching him dance. And I was like, that shit dangerous. And he was like, everybody's
right there in the middle of the street.
Yeah. And I was like, man, this is kind of dangerous, man. Like, why?
It's really not. That's the only time something like that has happened. I could probably name 3 situations that were really dangerous.
Why
out of 4 years.
Why he was doing in the parking lot though?
Because that's not where the cars are at.
I mean, yeah, there are cars. There are cars. No, there are cars in a parking lot.
It's not the same traffic that you get on the side of the road versus in a parking lot. Like you're getting the traffic of people.
People are filming you.
I guess, man. You can if I went to a parking lot like at the corner.
Like a stadium. If you're in a stadium, what gets more people eyes? The stadium or the street?
But I'm saying, like, if you're saying you're in a stadium, right? You might not get as many eyes.
That's not answer the question.
Oh no, hold up. I'm saying you might not get as many eyes as, and if you're in a stadium, as on the field, as in the bleachers. You're gonna get more eyes on the field than the bleachers, but you still gonna have a bunch of eyes in the bleachers. Like if you do something in the bleachers, you'll get 40 eyes. You might get 400 eyes.
When you're entertainment is a game of attention, just like life.
Yeah.
And that street gonna get more traction than that parking lot.
The point is to get as many eyes as you possibly can, though, bro.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you gotta find your niche to stand out. Everybody got their own thing for them to stand out. What makes you different? And a lot of people not going to come to you. You're gonna have to go to people.
I'd have sued the hell out of y'all, man. I'd have been like, man, I was trying to avoid. I want to sue somebody. I feel like there's a bunch of people that could be sued that don't get sued, and I'm waiting for my time to come, and it's gonna come. But at some point in life, I'm gonna sue the shit out of somebody for something they shouldn't have done, and I'm gonna win.
Know, man. Like it's no different than like I was driving today, and they had like the little pointer signs driving down the street with the lights flashing. That was distracting.
Yeah, man. I sue them too. Sue them too, man.
Like, and that's light. So
I'd have had a fake seizure.
Nah, like I don't know.
That was wild. I was like, dang, that's wild, man. Like,
yeah, I don't think that was the craziest.
Y'all been on. That was why I moved from over there, but y'all been on the corner of Tidwell and what's called it a couple times, and I've seen y'all. I'm like, yeah, over there jamming, man. I'm late for work though. I can't stop, but I wouldn't mind stopping.
But, yeah, he out in Maryland now.
In Maryland?
Yeah, he back in Maryland now.
Maryland? Man. How did the album do, you know?
Hey man, I read the tea leaves a long time ago about that.
Anyway. Yeah.
You gotta have sight beyond sight, my brother.
Man, we've already had this conversation about me being Lionel. So anyway, give people your socials, let them know where they can get in contact with you. And
you can find me at Lit.wit.Lee.
Yeah.
On Instagram. Have my link tree on there, everything's on there. And then my company name is God's Gift Creations. So yeah.
38, 32, no, 38, 33, 36. Just letting you know. That's my dimensions when you want to.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was like
30, 33, waist long and pants. I'm 36, I think.
I thought he was giving us some I thought he was giving us some divine numbers that I need to take down.
Yeah, me too. I was like, wait, what?
I was like, hold on,
38, 36.
Hey man, you been talking to the gods or something, man? Do I need to write these numbers down and go play the lotto tomorrow or something?
That's my dimensions, man. But you know, I choke up on these boys. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. When you need somebody to come and walk on the catwalk.
I ain't gonna lie, you look a little suspect right now.
You don't know how to walk the catwalk. I do. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I do not.
You're a director. I'm an actor.
You know, I don't walk the catwalk. You know what I'm talking about? No.
On the catwalk.
That's how you walk.
Shoulders back, chest forward. I can't turn because I'm in a chair, but I'm like Conor McGregor.
Oh Lord, not the arm.
Yeah.
You're going to distract from the fit.
That's why but I'm gonna have the fit on because I know you're creative and it's gonna be some stuff going on with the fit that's gonna make it. You know, so it might be a flame coming out right there. So he's on fire. Yeah, he's on fire. No, it's not. That's just you got them fire fits. Fire fits by Miss Lee. You can have that one. Fire fits. You can have that one. Well, it's been a great show, man. Thanks you for coming on. We have to get you on again, and I'll be able to rock some of your fits. Yeah, just let me know what I gotta do. if I gotta buy material or let me know what I gotta do. Very, very, very open to all that. Dub and
Is
stylish.
it cold out there yet, or y'all are like bipolar like us?
Yeah, the same. It was 40 like last week. It was 40 for like 3 days or 4 days last week. 86 right now.
Well,
85.
it's supposed to hit like the low 50s again, like by Friday though.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna rain a little bit, but yeah, Houston,
I like pick a season. That's
On
where
the-
I'm at with it. Yeah, pick a season.
on the
Yeah, I love
catwalk.
fall, man.
Oh, you putting on more jersey?
Double up on these boys, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Up on the boys.
Well. We didn't even talk about Joe Budden getting sucker punched, bro.
Yeah, man. That's childish, man. That's childish.
Yeah, it is childish. Well, and then we need to talk about Joe Budden almost getting bear maced, bro.
That's
Do you
childish.
own bear mace?
No.
Does anyone here own bear mace?
No, man.
No.
I live too good to have to make somebody, man.
I do look pretty attractive. Hey, this has been another episode of the 16 Shots Podcast with Young James Boogie and AR Dub. With our special guest, Miss Lit.wit.Lee. And we out.